All right, for our group project or skills video, we have decided on fishing knots and are going to show you guys 3 commonly used ones that I've grown up using and just more commonly used fishing knots. That way you guys know how to tie your hook on correctly. So I'll be going through the 3 of them and show you guys how to correctly do them.
And I'm going to be showing how someone who doesn't know how to do knots can do them incorrectly.
And then I'll just point out, what to look out for and how to just make sure you guys are making sure you're tying them correctly. All right, so for our first knot, it's the trillion knot. So obviously we weren't able to use fishing line and a real hook because you guys wouldn't be able to pick it up on camera. So we're using rope from class, and then this is just going to act as our loop. So anywhere the loop will be is where you would thread through your fishing hook. So to start off on this one, you're going to want to pull it through, and you're going to want to give yourself a good amount. So put it through once, and then take an end and double it back so you have a loop. And then you're going to want to wrap it. You're going to want to wrap your shorter end of your line 5 or 6 times around your long end. So your long end would be the one that you have connected to the fishing pole, and this would be your loose end. So wrap it 5 or 6 times. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take, once you get all your loops, you're going to take your end, you're going to go up through the middle of your loop you made, and you're going to pull forward. And obviously this won't lay as flat as fishing line, but you can mess around and it should sit flatly against itself like this. And then obviously you could trim off that little extra, but that is how you would use the trillion knot. All right, our next knot is the clinch knot, which is similar to the trillion knot we just did. And so you're gonna loop it through, but you're not going to re-loop. So you just have the bite of your rope, you're not gonna have a loop, but it's similar because you're also gonna do 4 or 5 loops. So just get those. 4 or 5. And where this one differs is you go through, if I can scoot down, through the top of your loop by the hook, and then out through one of the loops you made earlier, and then cinch it down. You have to kind of wiggle it around just a little bit, but it does lay flat against itself, and then this will use as like a locking mechanism to make sure it doesn't unravel. So it's similar in theory, but you have one less loop here, and then you double it back through itself, and then your extra comes out on the end. All right, and for our last knot, it's called the double surgeon's loop, just because it's an overhand knot. It's what surgeons use when they do sutures. So you're gonna get yourself a good chunk of rope, overhand knot, and then you're gonna do the exact same thing. Is make sure you scoot it a little bit farther down the rope. You do it twice. And this was one of my easier ones just because you just have to knot it. You can knot as many times as you want, but knot 2 or 3 times. I usually aim for 2. And then, like I said, it's your double surgeon's loop.
Alright, I'm going to be showing you guys how people might be actually be doing the knots wrong. So I will be doing the trillion knot right now, just as Maddie shown before. So first we get our loop, we go around a couple of times, and a mistake that some people actually might make is that when they do pull, as you saw, Maddie pulled it this way, but if someone just pulls this way, it does not actually lock that well and can come unloose in some situations and does not rest correctly. Alright, so that is a way that you could probably do those guys wrong. Now I will be doing these double sturgeons wrong. So I will start it the same way Maddie did, with a overhand knot. And a way that, as you saw through Maddie, is that you would do a knot very close. But some people might actually make a knot further down. Alright? Meaning it does not rest together, and this part of the rope can break with enough force.
Yep, and then since this is also just a single overhand knot, without locking them together, you risk the chance of one or both unraveling as well.
Hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. Take this knowledge as you will. Use it for fishing or for hitch knots. And we hope you enjoyed learning about these different knots.